Someone you love becomes seriously ill or is severely injured. You did not plan for your life to take an immediate detour, but it has. You quickly learn that the medical expertise and resources your loved one requires will land you in Sacramento, California for however long it takes to get through perhaps the most frightening chapter of your life. Your family is facing medical crisis away from home. I am Dan Germain, Executive Director of the Kiwanis Family House. For more than 3 decades, Kiwanis Family House has provided respite for these families by providing them with a safe and comfortable home away from home. Kiwanis Family House supports families of seriously ill or injured children and adults being treated at UC Davis Medical Center and Shriners Hospital of Northern California. UC Davis Medical Center, the teaching hospital for the UC Davis School of Medicine, provides person and family-centered care, offering access to the latest discoveries and best treatments for patients in Northern California and around the globe. UC Davis operates the only Level 1 trauma centers for both adult and pediatric emergencies in inland Northern California. Shriners Hospitals for Children of Northern California is a pediatric regional medical center providing highly specialized care and rehabilitation to children with congenital conditions and complex medical needs. The Northern California Shriners Hospital is a destination of choice for families throughout Northern California, the Western United States, Northwestern Mexico, and Canada. There are hundreds, perhaps thousands of temporary housing facilities around the world that provide similar services. However, there is only one Kiwanis Family House in the world, built by, supported by, and operated by Kiwanis family clubs and members in the California, Nevada, Hawaii district of Kiwanis International. Past Kiwanis International President Alan Penn, who visited our Kiwanis Family House twice during his international travels, has referred to ours as one of the top 5 high-impact programs in all of Kiwanis International.
Well, what the Kiwanis Family House represents to me is totally what our mission is, that we are a total Kiwanis family, embracing our communities. And the work that's done at the Kiwanis Family House has such a tremendous impact.
To be able to know that we serve these people from around the world, and to know that we're serving them here in Sacramento and in their own cities where they live, is one remarkable thing to me. Somebody comes from a country and happens to be here and had something tragic happen, and know they have the same love here that they would have at home is truly, truly remarkable. And I'm so glad that it's called the Kiwanis Family House and not some other name, because it truly represents who we are as an organization.
One of the aha moments in organized medicine has been the dawning, and it's been a slow dawning, I have to admit, of the realization that in treating adults and children, that there's more to the treatment than working on the body. That we need to treat the whole person.
Right.
Because when you're worrying about where you're going to sleep, how you can afford it, where your next meal is coming from, and so on, that interferes with you getting better. And certainly we know that the stress response, because that's what we're talking about here, the chemicals that are part of the stress response are chemicals that interfere with body healing.
Exactly.
So if we can ameliorate that, then we can hasten your healing. And you are a classic example of just that working. And that is working here because of the Kiwanis Family House. And I have no doubt that the speed of your recovery has been aided immeasurably by your experience here with the Kiwanis Family House. No doubt, no doubt. The other thing we've come to know is that when one family member is ill, the whole family is ill. Exactly. And so we have to care for the whole family. And that certainly has been your experience here at Kiwanis Family House. And I'm sure all the hundreds of families that move through here every year feel the same way, that they are being looked after as a family,
Family.
not just as individuals.
Since opening our doors more than 3 decades ago, our house has served more than 25,000 families. We average between 120 and 150 families every month. In a typical day, 5 or 6 families check out, and 5 or 6 more check in, and we nearly always have a waiting list. Our guests have come from all 50 states and 23 foreign countries in order to provide loving support to ill or injured family members being treated by our partner hospitals. In this regard, our Kiwanis Family House has a clear national and international impact. When we take a closer look at the geographical distribution of guest families which we have served and supported, we are not surprised to learn that nearly 8 of every 10 families are residents of the 48 counties that comprise Northern and Central California. These counties are largely rural and are not often supported by the range of medical specialties upon which a patient's survival and recovery depend. Our audiences are often surprised to hear that 10 Southern California counties, the other 49 United States, and dozens of foreign countries send us 1 of every 5 of our guest families. They travel considerable distances to Sacramento to receive the world-class medical services offered by our partner hospitals. Statistics impress us, but stories move us.
I think the day that I arrived here, I was here about an hour when we got results that our son had a triple heart defect and would probably never live to see 10 minutes.
You know, and as a mom, it was hard. You know, as a mom, you know, you don't want to let your kid ever go, you know, so it was hard. Sorry.
Could you imagine having this experience without a place like the Kiwanis Family House?
We would have been in our van. I mean, there's no other, we live 3 hours away. There's no other way. I mean, you're going to do what you're going to have to do. And without a facility like this, I probably would have been sleeping in my van. And without this place and the family support and, you know, as supportive as it was here for us to stay, we would have never made it through. You know, we would have never got by. It would have been a really hard struggle, and probably would have been the hardest, you know, was the hardest time of our life, but it would have been even harder.
Well, I was in Haiti on a medical mission, and I found Woodmay, who is a badly burned 15-year-old. And he lost an arm, and his feet and hands are very burned. And I decided I wanted to help him, and in order to do that, I had to find a hospital that would accept him. The Shriners Hospital here in Sacramento opened up their heart to accept him. But even so, I wouldn't have been able to bring him here if I didn't have a place for us to stay. I saw that the Kiwanis Family House was right near the hospital, and I wrote to the house, and they were more than happy to help us. It's just been wonderful that I could go home in the evening to this house, the Kiwanis Family House, and have a place where I can lay down and rest. And I'm at the hospital about 12 hours a day.
Well, my name's Buddy Howard. I've been visiting the Kiwanis Family House since 2005. If it wasn't for the Kiwanis Family House, my wife and I wouldn't have been able to come and stay at Sacramento and have the cancer surgeries that I've had here at UC Davis. Kiwanis afforded us the opportunity to survive and fight the battle of cancer, and they've been there for me since 2005 and a lot of other people. It's just been a great experience. Hadn't it been for the Kiwanis Family House, I wouldn't be here today. I know that they helped me in my fight for cancer. That's just the way the Kiwanis people are. They're just caring, giving people, the entire organization. And that's what the Kiwanis House is all about, caring and giving, and they can't seem to do it enough.
And what we found at the Kiwanis Family House was a place that was clean, comfortable beds, had showers, it had laundry facilities, because when we're in an emergency, you don't pack, you have what you have on your back. So laundry's a luxury. It had its own kitchens, private refrigerators, and it even had a pantry because, once again, you don't get to grocery shop on your way.
Well, due to the accident and the medication I had, I really don't remember too much of it, but it did mean a lot to me at the time.
Having the Kiwanis Family House there provided a resource for us so that either David or myself was by his side 24/7. Luckily, he had a job that he was able to take time off, but because we had a place to stay, the other could go and be well rested to take the next shift, so that we could be there all the time for our son.
I think there's a psychological thing that even though he might have been sedated or whatever, that I think there was a part of it that he knew we were there, because we would talk to him whether he knew we were there or not. And we were told, even through the medical people, that it's important for people like us to be there for their kids.
We have served thousands of families just like these since 1984. Before we show you all of the great features of our current facility, let's learn about our very humble beginnings from our beloved Leona Bright, one of the visionary founders of the Kiwanis Family House.
I'm Leona Bright, and my husband, Vern Bright, was the creator of the Kiwanis Family House. We had been active in a support group for cystic fibrosis children, and they came to the Med Center, and they didn't have very many places to stay, and they were leaving their children in their automobile during the very winter months, and we were concerned about the children. I noticed some prefab buildings for sale. I said to my husband, why don't we go by and see them? So we did. And so we went by, and they were just, when Vern and I went into the room, it was just wonderful, because they had set up these mobile homes in little offices, like the architectures and the plumbers and everything, and we could just see rooms for the children. My husband's gone now, but he wanted it. They were talking about names, and he said, this is Kiwanis. Kiwanis has worked in this area for many, many years. We've built many things, but this is something that he wanted to be known and to remember Kiwanis work here in the community. And so it had to be Kiwanis Family House.
The original Kiwanis Family House served us for 22 years. In 2006, we cut the ribbon on our current facility. Most of our 24 guest rooms provide 2 twin beds, although a few are slightly larger and have a 3rd bed. All guest rooms have a private bathroom and shower. Each family is assigned a refrigerator in one of 3 common kitchen areas. And the kitchens are supported by our food pantry. For families who come to us in a hurry, we have a fully stocked clothes closet. When not supporting their hospitalized loved ones, families enjoy our peaceful courtyards. We have a playground for children and also 6 full-service camper and recreational vehicle spaces behind the building. Earlier, I mentioned that there is only one Kiwanis Family House, built, supported, and operated by Kiwanis family clubs and members in the California, Nevada, Hawaii district. We absolutely could not maintain our facility in a desired state without the valuable financial and volunteer support of our Kiwanis membership and of the hundreds of youth and young adults in our service leadership programs. Here is a glimpse of how passionate everyone is for our house.
Nothing brings us together like a workday or a project that benefits Kiwanis Family House. This is our house. We are biased, of course, but we believe the Kiwanis Family House is just about the best thing that Kiwanis has ever done. How have we been able to do this for 30 years? How are we still able to do it? Our Kiwanis Family House is a success story because the members of our great Kiwanis family have enduring passion and enthusiasm for this place. If you are not already a part of our family, come and see what the excitement is all about.
Our supporters donate equipment, help us maintain the landscaping, keep our clothes closets stocked and organized, show up in teams and as individuals, and they raise funds on our behalf. If your Kiwanis Club is not already one of the nearly 100 Kiwanis clubs that are official sponsors of the Kiwanis Family House, consider becoming one, not to benefit those of us who are passionate supporters, but to serve the families from your counties, your communities, and your neighborhoods who need our loving support while they deal with medical crisis in Sacramento. Becoming a sponsoring club is simple. Make a one-time initial sponsorship contribution of $500. Once you have paid the one-time sponsorship fee, pledge to pay annual dues each year thereafter, currently at $100. And make one additional donation, perhaps the proceeds from a dedicated fundraising event. Other ways clubs can help include sponsoring a guest room, donating items from our published wish list, or volunteering your time. I want you to know about two other avenues for financially supporting the Kiwanis Family House. The first is our Sponsor a Family program. Every donation of $50 will support one night stay for a low-income family who cannot afford our modest nightly rent. As an individual, you can also become a friend of the Kiwanis Family House. Our friends make either annual or monthly contributions at varying levels of giving. Monthly donations are typically set up as recurring automatic transfers. Hopefully, we offer you a level that is comfortable for you. Whether or not you are a Kiwanis family member, please help us grow our circle of friends of the Kiwanis Family House. We encourage you to join our family of supporters by visiting our website, following us on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, where you can watch videos of our guests telling their compelling stories of crisis and hope. Also on our website, you can subscribe to our monthly newsletter, The House Talk, to keep up with the latest news from our house. In times of medical crisis, families who stay at the Kiwanis Family House know that there is one thing they don't have to worry about: where they are going to sleep at night. This simple fact can make all the difference to families whose whole lives are turned upside down, and provide them with the respite they need to give loving support to their ill and injured loved ones. We at the Kiwanis Family House thank you for allowing us the privilege of providing our services to these families for over 30 years and into the future.
To spread the word to all of Kiwanis International that this house exists, not just for support, but also too to let the world know that it is here and the work that they are doing here. So if you are somewhere and you have to come here, to come by and see it. See what belongs to this organization and see what they're doing here. People from around the world, I love it because we have airplanes, so we could travel and visit. And when they come to California and they happen to be in Sacramento, if they are from Jamaica, or if they are from Canada, or if they are from Europe, I would love to see those people come through here and say, wow, and see these flags of the people that they serve, and go back into their clubs and say, there's a house down there serving international people with our name on it. Mm-hmm. That would be great for me.
This is a great example of what we can and should be doing throughout the world, having Kiwanis family houses throughout our international family. I think this is a great showpiece, and it's proven that it works, and I definitely think that it's a great opportunity to share the great works throughout our world.
I also think that some of the families that have stayed here take that Kiwanis name with them. So they go back to their own communities, and either they're asked to join Kiwanis or they're asked to contribute to Kiwanis, and they'll remember, oh yeah, I remember the Kiwanis Family House. I remember what they did for me, mm-hmm. for our family. So it can only help spread the great news about Kiwanis around the world.
What we Kiwanians know is that our community doesn't stop at the city limits.
Right.
Our community is global, and certainly the experience here at Kiwanis Family House demonstrates that in spades, because they have families come here from all over the world. And I've come to know that my community doesn't stop at the town limit in Ridgetown. My community looks like this, and that is certainly demonstrated in the service and the impact of Kiwanis Family House.